Well, I'm here with Joe Kowalski, and he has done some phenomenal work. Joe, tell me real quick about how much construction experience you had before you built this awesome house out of a container.
Um, Truthfully, as much as Legos when I was a kid, in real experience, light repairs and decks, but no real construction experience at all.
He learned a lot on YouTube, which is kind of cool, and that's how he and I met. Is that he is watching my videos, and I was just so delighted for him to reach out to me. He learned that I'm in New Jersey, so we just had to meet, and I just had to see how he progressed on his shipping container house. He, from what I understand, is you got this from the shore area of New Jersey, and you did some shopping around. Could you give some pointers about where you found, how you found where to buy this shipping container?
Yeah, yeah, that's actually very important because the price range is significant, and the first phone call I made was over $4,000 for a new container, and then I started to just shop around and did some research, and I tried to just get closer to the ports, and then I found some of the distributors there, and the price started to drop, and then I just kept calling and calling, and I ended up getting it for a little more than half of the original number, which, if you're trying to build, saving is what we're trying to do.
Pay to spend some time to do some shopping around. What Joe did is he bought himself a 20-foot high cube, and from that, he's got a neighbor who was able to pick it up and bring it over to his property. And that was, I think, January of this year?
Yeah, mid-January. I think
And
like
right
the 5th.
now it's April, mid-April, and within those few months, he's accomplished a lot. In spite of all the New Jersey winter weather, he's been able to put up the studs inside, and I'll show you what it looks like in a second. He put the studs up in there for the ceiling, the walls. He's got the materials really ready to put the drywall on the walls. He's also, you've gotten an electrician to come out, wire it up, use BX instead of the Romex, right? And what size of electric panel did you use?
It's a 50 amp.
50 amp.
Yeah, which covers the water heater, the heating element in the kitchen, and all the power that will run through. We did all the math. We originally thought it was going to be 100, but I went with a smaller water heater, just one class lower, and then that got us to like a threshold that he thought was comfortable, because he said 100 is a kind of a different animal and pulling a lot more power. So 50 amp box.
He's using a tankless water heater. And so that's I think a wise thing to do, because it takes up so much less space also for a small unit like this. I think it's a wise
Yeah, and it's I think the one is 4 gallons per minute, and I think you can get away with like 2.8. So 4 is a significant step up. When I saw that level of performance, I said that there's no reason not to get this.
And the layout of this has the restroom, a toilet, has a walk-in shower. You're using a preformed pan, and has a water closet. I guess I didn't see the lavatory, but you'll have one in there, I guess, right? And then you're going to have that's on the far end. Then he has his cooking area. You'll have basically 2 base cabinets, right? One base cabinet's got the drawers, and two cabinets below, or I believe, wasn't it?
It's a 3 cabinet, but the top one, depending upon if I put the heating element in or not, I might lose that drawer. But right now it's 3.
Okay. And then you're going to have another base cabinet for the sink.
Yep.
And then you're going to have some shelves above that, and he's already pre-planned it to where he's going to have some electrical outlets, some GFI. Be sure you do that near the water area, and that way he can service any kind of toaster or a coffee maker. He'll have another one maybe higher up where he'll have shelves over the base cabinet, and those shelves can hold plates or food or whatever, but you can also put a microwave in there.
Yep.
Right? So great planning on that. You were telling me a little bit about the sleeping quarters, and you mentioned something about bunk beds, and I know you may not be going that route.
Yeah.
Share with me and them about exactly kind of what you were talking about.
Well, once I got the bathroom squared away and the kitchen squared away, and I had the living space, it's not a huge space. So then you try to think like, what economy can I use to get the most out of it? So I saw this really neat idea where they had it's almost like a Murphy bed, but it was 2 Murphy bed systems that let twin beds go out along the wall. So with the math here, you know, twin beds are, I think, 70 inches long. So with that, you could sleep 2 across the wall here, and then you could lay a full-size bed on this side. So, you know, a 20-foot container could conceivably comfortably sleep 4 people,
Right.
but you would still have all that living space during the day if you go the Murphy bed route, which I find, you know, perfect for this situation.
Now, what he's also done is he's learned welding on his own, and I guess you learn through YouTube and reading about it. And he did have a friend. You said you had a friend that is a welder, so they could make sure that he's doing a safe job on that. But from what I see, you did a great job on the welding. Did you have any challenges or anything about learning the welding, things that you might want to share that you might want to stay away from on the welding?
Yeah, welding experience, I decided to go with the stick welding, and the reason I did that was because of the suggestion from my welding friend. He said that with stick, you have the ability with surfaces that aren't perfectly clean to still be able to weld on them, and you're not carrying the tanks that if you're using MIG, where you'll need, you know, the gas, so you can bring them places that are a little bit more portable. And you know, once you get the system down, it does give a really, you know, good bead, and he was confident with it. I'm by no means, you know, like an expert, but you learn pretty quick. And for this, you know what I mean, just making the angle irons into the frame, you know, the first one was a little shaky, but by the door and the next window, you know, like they're sturdy.
Speaking of the framing around the windows, Keith and I were talking about the different ways to doing that. And you can see on my blog, I talk about how we can use tubes to frame around it, or you can use angles. And angles is my preference, and that seems to be what you use too.
Yeah.
And that worked out pretty well because you're able to bring one leg along the inside face of the opening, and the other leg is sticking out. That too can be used for water protection too, particularly as a brow on the top.
Yeah, the top for sure.
Yeah, you were talking about adding some more for the water protection. You're talking about AZEK and things like that. What's your idea about that?
Yeah, so it's not a perfect science when I cut it out there, and you know, I feel like some moisture can get in, so I want to put on the outside or on the inside frame of the angle iron window frame a strip of AZEK along the top and along the sides, so there's no possibility of water penetrating in. I've been doing water tests, but there's no point in me putting drywall in and going to the next step if this thing is not completely watertight.
Yeah.
So, you know, AZEK is not that expensive.
Right.
To be able to do that and seal it properly and be secure with that, I'm going to go the extra.
You know, AZEK is a real durable material, and it looks really nice on the outside facade. I've used AZEK to be able to detail some colonial looking for homes, restored some historic municipal buildings using AZEK. So you using AZEK around the window can also lend itself to more aesthetic things you can do around the building itself.
Agreed.
Yeah, kind of opens up a lot of possibilities for you. That's good. Now you use aluminum framed windows, correct?
Yes.
It has a double hung, I believe I saw here on
Yeah.
the window. So it has a screen you can open up. When we walked in there, and I'll share it to you, like I said, when we walked in there, it is a kind of a warm day. It's around 60. It's a beautiful day today. But you were saying that on a day like today, it would actually be pretty hot without the spray foam already in. So I really do. I can tell that it's a good insulation. Did you have any trouble with putting in this spray foam?
Yeah, so the only issue that I had with it, you have to use this closed cell spray foam because you don't want a lot of expansion. It does expand a little bit, and behind the electrical outlets there was a little expansion which made it not flush with the wall, so I had to dig behind it to make sure that it was kicked back, because when I put the sheetrock on, I don't want to be causing more problems when I could just be able to cut out that space. And then I reapplied the insulation. But again, this is the first time. Had I known that that would happen, I could have told the spray foamer, just be careful in the application around the boxes. But, you know, live and you learn.
Yeah, and it's easy to repair. You were able to cut it out a little bit and have that aerosol can of spray foam to kind of patch it. And that's typical really on any project, is you're going to have to do little touch-ups and things of that sort. So I think it's, in fact, some people may not even go back and touch it up. They would cut it out, and then, you know, what you don't see is not there, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
you definitely have the integrity on your construction. It's turned out really well. The door itself, it's most residential doors will swing into the space. Now his is a little bit unique in that it swings out. And from what I understand, is it's swinging out so it doesn't take up so much space on the inside. Is that correct?
Yes, and again, I have never done construction, so I bought an in-swing door, and then the second that I opened it and put it in, it wasn't permanently installed. It was 2 feet into the space that I was going to put a couch or a Murphy bed.
Yeah.
So then I said, uh-oh, let me get an outswing, just so everyone knows, you know, outswings are, for this, it was almost 3 times the price because it's like a custom door. And if you think, how many people do you know have outswing exterior doors? Like, people have a storm door that opens out, but in general, their exterior door doesn't open this way. So it's like a custom door. Anytime it's custom,
yeah,
a couple more bucks.
Yeah. You may be able to do a sliding door, perhaps, and that would not take so much room and go in. But sliding doors sometimes have water problems going in.
I thought sliding, and I also thought about glass garage door.
Oh, really? That's an interesting idea.
Yes.
How would that work?
So, in a typical garage, you have a lot of height to be able to, you know, have the 18-inch braces and have the space. Here, you have to do a lot of custom work on top. What I was worried about was how much that would affect the heat and the cooling inside of it. So I didn't decide to on this one, but that's not to say that I won't on a future build.
He's planning on building more, so you need to keep in touch with this guy because he's got some great product he's pulling out here, and then each product I'm sure is going to be better and better. But this is an awesome house. I think it's a great craftsmanship. Tell them a little bit about how you put the studs up. Now that's, you know, it's a silly question to talk about how do you put a stud up into a space that we're finishing out. We do that all the time, right? Well, in a shipping container, you don't want to drive your stud track up through any surface, the corrugated surface, that's actually going to protect you from all the elements. How did you put your studs up on the inside without diminishing the integrity of the corrugation?
Again, no experience, just from common sense, exactly what you said. I didn't want to penetrate through the top portion of it because then I would be creating a hole in the roof. So on the long sides of it, there's tubed steel. And if you drill into the inside, you don't get to the outside because it's a tube. So I started running the tracks parallel to the top of the tube steel and started on the ceiling. I put them down, and then that track, which held the studs, was the point that I put the walls on the sides track. So it's in the floor, and then it goes into the top there. And then I line them up on each stud, so they're kind of intertwined. And, you know, in my mind, it's the strongest structural construction that you could make, hurting the integrity of the actual outside container.
And he used metal studs, and they were what?
1 and 5/8. Yeah. There's a guy who does this, and he has a pretty informative YouTube channel, and I trusted his process. He said, you know, every inch counts. So rather than go with the 2x4, I went with the 1 and 5/8, and I'm happy with it.
Let's give him a shout out.
The container guy, the Canadian guy. He, you know, he
knows his stuff.
He's opinionated, but he does. He knows his stuff, and when you start to do it, I was trying to prove him wrong just to be the person who proved him wrong, and I said, maybe he's right.
Well, why don't we show them the place
and
see what it looks like on the inside, and we can walk around a little bit too, maybe shoot some things about that too. You'll see how he's sealed around the windows on the outside and that sort of thing. Now we're inside of Joe's abode that he created, and what he's looking at over there is kind of where his cooking area is going to be. You want to give us a nice 20-cent tour of what you've got going on here, how you designed it, your layout?
Yes, so this will be a doorway into the bathroom, corner shower here, toilet against the back wall, small vanity, vent. On the opposite side of the bathroom wall, there'll be a 48-inch kitchen. There'll be cabinets on this side, sink here, and then from this point on is all livable space.
Okay.
So we'll have to decide what route, or if I sell it, what you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to just keep this as open as possible with as much livable space. And a lot of people close these doors. I'm definitely not going to permanently close them, because this gives you the ability to move all of the stuff in and out.
Yeah.
So many more options, especially if it's a nice day, you want to have it open. So I'm just going to make nice panels on here and then have this to be able to be opened.
Yeah, and you know, they could actually build a deck
Yeah.
there and open it out to the deck too.
Yeah.
Because this could actually be, you know, living area, or it could be a sleeper sofa, or it could be a bed.
I
or a
played
murky
with the
bed.
idea of bolting this door and making this exterior shower.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Right, so if you box this in, you make exterior shower here, and then you just make toilet and sink here, trying to maximize space.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not everybody loves an exterior shower like I do, so I said, let me, you know.
Well, you know what? I think that's the Jersey boy coming in
Yeah.
when we're talking about going to the beach, and
Yes.
we like to go to an outdoor shower afterwards. So, like he said, here's what he's got. He opened up the floor. He took out the wood floor from the shipping container for the restroom, the bathroom itself.
I had to raise it.
Raised up, yeah.
I raised it 4 inches because to get the plumbing so it wasn't touching anything floor level for when it moves, we had to raise this up.
For transportation, right?
Yep.
So he's got PVC.
These will all be these PEX lines I'm going to insulate. That's going to insulate, and then wherever it goes, it'll most likely be elevated, and then this will be spray foam from the bottom,
Okay.
which I just think makes the most sense in regards to insulating this. So if it's a true 4-season unit, you don't run into any issues.
Now, and you're using laminate flooring here, or actually vinyl
Yep.
flooring.
Vinyl 22, the 22 mils, which is it's graded for commercial. They have 6 mils, they have 12 mils, they have 10 mils. This is the biggest one that you could buy because the square footage is so small.
Yeah.
It made sense for me to go a little bit more expensive and have something that was more durable.
Okay. And here's his electric panel. He's got here's his shower stall pre-made, and now over here on the right side, I saw that you've got your formed shower pan,
38 inches,
38 inches.
which is bigger than one of the showers in my house.
You might come out here then. You're talking about outdoor shower, you just come here. And you've got your tankless
Yep.
water heater here, and the faucets, yeah, and your water closet, regular water closet. It's not a composting or anything like that.
Nope.
The sheetrock, it looks like it's a half inch. Is it a half inch?
Half inch,
Yeah. Are you going to sheetrock the ceiling?
Yep.
Okay.
And we went with 10 rather than go with the 8s, just so when we're taping and spackling, you make less work of it.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
lift it, but
Yeah.
you know, it makes more sense
Yeah.
to do it here.
Yeah, you'll finish up a wall in no time.
Yeah.
And a ceiling too.
Yeah.
You might need an extra hand to hold it up for yourself.
Yes.
All right. And you've got your windows are already installed, the double hung windows.
Yeah.
And
And I think we said they're aluminum. These are actually vinyl.
oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Thank you. Vinyl. And you got your door there.
Yep.
With the louvers inside of it. That's cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I wanted a lot of the ones that I saw. They had probably windows half this size, and then this one is big even for the other ones. You know, light makes the space so much bigger.
Absolutely right.
So I wanted a glass front door, a bigger living room window, the biggest kitchen window I could have, just to have that. I don't have them on this side because I don't know what the intention will be moving forward, and I really feel like it's very easy to put another box on this side and make this a 2-bedroom.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, you
this
were talking
wall,
about stacking these too, weren't you?
yeah, I love the idea of stacking. I've seen them. It's not an original idea, but I've seen them where they stack them. They put a spiral staircase somewhere in this area and they go straight up, or you could make a staircase on the outside, make a door here, go up that way. But if you put another one next to it or on top, it's 2 bedrooms.
I did an article on liveincontainer.com, my blog, where I have 3 of them stacked, and I did not have any stairs inside because there's just not enough room in these 20 footers. And so it's kind of a structure outside of the platforms and stairs that led to all those that were stacked upon itself.
I like that.
Yeah. And you were
for
talking
space
about,
restrictions.
I remember you and I talking about how you can set things back too, and create balconies and things like that.
Yes. If I were to do it with the help of an engineer, I would like the second container to be midway here, so this portion of it would be a top deck.
Yeah.
And then you could have a double glass door, sliding door on that piece, so you could kind of walk out from that bedroom and have a beautiful space right there. You know, you just got to maximize every opportunity, and with this stuff, it really is. It's like Legos when I was younger. You know, you make one little move and it's like I just created a completely different thing.
And the air conditioning, you're going to put a split system.
Yes,
and it'll be on this wall here.
Yeah, it does. You know, it's rated for way more than this.
The space,
and because of you know, the R value requirements, like I'm happy to have a split that has more power in case you do have it in a colder climate, you know what I mean? Or if it is the middle of the summer, it's hot, so you get that cool, because there's no point in having this if you're not comfortable inside of it. So a little bit more money on the split that I got, but more power for what I need.
Yeah. And tell me again, you're going to put the siding, I think, on the walls here, right?
Yeah.
And all that is to also to protect the surface, and when it's mobile, when it's moving and maybe cracks, this thing will actually cover over those if it ever happens.
Yeah.
Maybe the end user may or may not want to have the siding elsewhere or not, but you have the beaded board here, which is your intention, I think, to put on the inside.
Yeah, I like this shiplap design. You know, it just went, I like this color combination. I like it gives a little bit, the illusion of a little bit more length inside of the room, and like you said, it's an easy installation, goes on.
And it's white, and that, like you're talking about with the windows, will make this space look even bigger.
Yeah, 100%.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for the tour, Joe.
Appreciate it.
You have done a remarkable job. I'm looking forward to seeing this finished out. Maybe we can revisit that when that happens.
Absolutely. Thank you for being the straw that broke the camel's back and being from New Jersey, and you know, allowing me to have the guts to go through with it.
You did a great job.
It's been a tremendous journey.
Now, Joe is building this, and he's anxious to build another one. And are you going to keep this?
I don't know. I probably will actually sell it.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Joey, mind if I ask the audience if you are interested in buying this? Then just leave your name and number on the bottom of the comments, or you can actually email to me at liveinacontainer@gmail.com, and I'll connect you to him. I'll also, do we have maybe I can have a link to you or some kind of information how they can reach you directly? Okay, I'll put that in the comments down below, so check that out too. Hey, if you want to get that same program that Joe used, go to the link I'll have below, and you too can download all those tools that he used to be able to design his own shipping container building. Go ahead, click the link below.